Doug Crankel was probably one of the most anticipated Cars on the Road diecast releases, or more specifically, any of the zombie alien cars from the B-movie episode. And the way they pulled him off is pretty impressive. First off, he's a single, which is absolutely crazy. Any other year, he would totally be a deluxe, and honestly, yeah, he definitely should have been a deluxe, but in 2023, of course, we all know that Mattel is not doing deluxes this year. Deluxes have been in a pretty rough place for the past several years now, and so they've decided to not do them this year and instead release larger cars in multi-packs or in other places. And if that means we get more characters like Doug as singles, which means they're significantly cheaper, then you know what? Keep it coming, because that meant that this was the same price as any other standard car, despite him being, again, decently larger. And you can see that they actually, although he is on a regular size single card, they did make the blister area decently larger to compensate for his big, bulging smart boy brain. Which also means that the artwork of Doug was condensed quite a bit. I really didn't expect this car to be released so soon after Cars on the Road. I know Cars on the Road is several months old at this point, but we haven't gotten all that many diecasts from it. And getting Doug, especially this early on, into its diecast line is very, very cool. However, despite those really cool things, it being a single and the sheer fact that they pulled it off and released it, there are a few things that really sort of kill the hype for me regarding this release. First and foremost, it's the color scheme. It's the color scheme. It doesn't look awful, but it's not accurate at all. In the show, he's green, he's dirty, he's all dented, and here he's just gray. He's just flat gray, which is just not accurate at all. And honestly, it's really disappointing. I don't know if this was based off of concept art or if they were just sent stills from the show and a bunch of people at Mattel mistook this for gray instead. With the sort of, you could see the paint color is sort of inconsistent due to the lighting, almost kind of like Holly, which is pretty funny. Depending on how Holly is lit, she appears different colors, which cause them to mess up Holly's color. Very convenient, as this is my next review, but it seems like maybe there's a similar situation with Doug. Maybe they were given early images from the show, and, you know, they thought he was gray. I could see this being mistaken for gray, again, depending on lighting and other factors, but still, it does make it a little disappointing. Also, he's not a unique mold. The car here is very much dented, but Doug here seems to just be reusing this mold we got back in 2019 for, I believe this was Todd Crash, of course. And there's one last thing that bothers me with this guy. His name. This guy's name is Doug Crankel. He's got a normal, regular background Cars character name. But he's supposed to be a zombie alien. Why is his name Doug? Why does he have a normal name? Right? I don't know if anybody else has pointed this out, but this has bothered me since he got revealed. Obviously, this is just a case of them just creating random car pun names and assigning them to random Cars background characters, but honestly, I would have preferred if they just called this guy Zombie Alien. Why does he have such a normal name? I could only assume that Doug Crankel is supposed to be the name of the actor who played him, or plays him in the movie, since the whole point of the episode is that they're filming this movie, but still. Few odd things. Anyway, guys, welcome back to yet another review. Today we're finally going to be taking a look at Doug Crankel from the 2023 Cars on the Road diecast line. Very excited, despite my complaints about this item. Very excited to get him. It's just, you know, sometimes there are a few things that I got to get out of the way at the beginning of the review because I feel like I just need to touch on them. And with Doug, the case of him not having the right color right off the bat is a little annoying. But still, he does look good. He does look really good if you ignore the fact that he's the wrong color. But no, honestly, still, he looks very cool. Got his artwork there. Got this big zombie face going on. New for 2023. I love the fact that his smaller artwork means that the brain gets sort of punctured by the hook design. As seen in Cars on the Road, we got Gearston Marshall, Greebles, Royce Revsley, Griswold, K. Pillar de Rev, and then, of course, Doug himself. He's got a pretty subdued expression here on the prototype and on the diecast compared to the expression of him as the zombie. Yeah, let's get this guy out of the package. Very exciting, and just so cool that he's a single. I know that's because they're not doing deluxes this year, but still, it means he's a really great deal. So here he is, out of the package, and yeah, he's a pretty weird looking car. There he is. He's got his giant brain going on up here. Honestly, I think these are supposed to be the brains are supposed to be a reference to Mars Attacks. Maybe it looks like the aliens from that. I know, you know, big brains is sort of a running trend with zombies and alien designs, but this really gives me sort of Mars Attack vibes. Also sort of reminds me of the clickers from The Last of Us, which, I don't know, I think that's kind of funny. But yeah, he's got a pretty, again, subdued expression compared to in the show. I do like that he's still got sort of this zombie groan. It's not as violent looking as on the artwork, but still, it is pretty funny. He does look a little bored. He looks like he's taking like a 5th grade math test, and he just doesn't know the answers. I don't know why 5th grade specifically, but it just feels like that's what he's doing. The brain here, of course, is this big plastic insert piece. It's really well detailed. It's got all these veins painted on, just like in the show, and of course wraps all the way around him. Lots and lots of detail in that mold. Very nicely molded. Different shades of green as well, sort of lit up on other sides. And it still looks really, really good. It's unfortunate that Doug himself isn't green, but the big green zombie brain still looks really, really great. I also wish they had given him matte paint. I just think that would have worked better. Todd here, the other car that uses his mold, had matte paint, and I don't know, I just think it would really go a long way with the sort of dirty zombie alien design. Something cool about this mold, which I didn't realize until I got Doug, is that it's actually raised up a bit, you could see, which is pretty cool, although, you know, the same has always been true for this mold. On the back, he unfortunately doesn't have a license plate, although I guess, oh, neither did Todd Crash, okay. But yeah, I just wish he had had a matte paint design, because I don't like how glossy the big brain and the car itself are. These are supposed to be zombie aliens. I know I'm typically not this negative during a review, and I want to cement the fact that this still is a really cool Cars Diecast release, and I still really, really like it. It's just, there are a few things really holding it back from being great. Like, I think the best thing about this car is the fact that it exists. The fact that they made it, they pulled it off, they even sold it as a single, although of course we know that was due to other factors. If we were doing deluxes this year, he totally would have been a deluxe. But still, you know, the fact that it exists, I think, is the coolest thing about this car. I just wish they had made him a bit more accurate. I know there were some other zombie aliens in the episode. Hopefully when we get them, they could have the accurate color schemes. I could definitely see them going back and re-releasing Doug later on down the line, giving him a corrected green color scheme. I do hope so, and I hope when they do that, they also give him matte paint. It's not often I ask them to give a car matte paint, but I think with Doug, it would really benefit him. So, yeah, sorry if I'm a bit harsh on this one, but my job is to review an item, and when there's an item that I think could be better, you know, I gotta bring it up. But still, for what he is very, very cool. I really like him, and I'm very glad to add him to my collection. I just hope they make the other zombies soon, so that Doug doesn't have to be all alone. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye now.